we are going to move to the final step of the event. So I would like to encourage you to participate in the wrap-up. So we had several topics, very interesting topics. So now it's the moment in the event that we try to put all the ideas together and share the final thoughts about the event, about all the technologies, all the things that we have seen so far during the last 2.5 days. So I want to encourage you to join a kind of a round session for a few minutes and to participate in this round table. Okay, before we do the final wrap up and we conclude the event. So what's your thought? What kind of a thing you enjoy the most, other than Vanessa dancing and and you can flex this. It was a good one. So one of the things that so I personally enjoyed is from the people from Open on Demand was quite a key metric on how quickly researchers get into an HPC cluster and starts to work with it. So it was 19 times faster. So this is a massive outcome. So I'm not sure where is Emil here, but it's a huge milestone. Other things that I remember as well is how much CO2 tons were consumed to train GPT-2. It's massive, and it was insane as well. Yes?
Break a little bit the ice. For me, the main two takeaways and the talks that I liked the most was the one on Jupyter and the user support. I think it's really nice that the transparency that it was shared and how a research center can offer all these tools to the users. I'm not used to this kind of transparency in where I was previously, and also data or the developments were shared open source, which is really also really nice, not make and only for us, but for other centers. And then I really also really appreciate is the talk from Joshua this morning. As I said, we usually tend to show how good we are and how nice things we do when we come to these places. And usually we don't keep in the stage and we really learn with mistakes, and it was really interesting, the approach of sharing, and yeah, make me think a lot. Thank you.
In regards to the Joshua's talk, so we developed a plugin, and so your presentation was awesome. I was mostly focused on the hardware side, but what about the user expectations? So when you talk about this with the users don't tend to understand, so they take for granted that the machine, that as many nodes as they want to use, they're going to be there forever and nothing will crash. And if it crashes, then you are the one to blame, right? So this Summit plugin that we have developed, we define a threshold, let's say 3 days or 7 days. And if somebody submits a job longer than that, they receive a message saying it's not safe to run a job over that period of time because you can encounter with some issues. So it kind of points to this idea, and it's more kind of a setting up realistic expectations from the end user point of view, because otherwise the fingers point to you like you are not doing the right job, rather than, well, this is the reality and we have to face it. What's your thought? Okay.
would say managing user expectations is always challenging, right? They don't understand queuing, or they don't want to understand queuing, and it's I just submit my job. 5 minutes later, it's not running. I'm gonna open a ticket because the system, there's something wrong with the system. Right? But also, and regarding to Josh's talk this morning, and it's a topic that we've taught in the past in the HPCKP. We need to design the applications to be more robust to failures, right? I think there was a presentation from BSC some years ago about a framework to make very large MPI applications fault tolerant, because otherwise, as it was presented today, you cannot run for over an hour on a very large system, right? So we need to start pushing on that, because otherwise, very large systems don't make much sense.
Yeah. Checkpoint and restart, for example, at its scale, it comes with a huge challenges. And it depends on the kind of a checkpoint and restart. If it's just a state file and it's not that massive, but it's a challenge itself, yes.
So actually, I was having a conversation with him after the talk, and then he was talking, oh, we have a potential customer, or we have already a customer that is looking to do, say, 4,000 nodes, okay? So then I said, oh, 4,000 nodes. All right, so let me challenge you with a question. Based on what you already heard, you know, if you knew that, say, using 2,000 nodes at the same time out of the 4,000 to do a run, if it was guaranteed to fail so often, would you still architect the whole 4,000 node cluster with a single network that spawns the whole thing? Or maybe you would think it's more feasible to actually make two networks, and it's a way of physically imposing that nobody can run a job larger than 2,000 nodes because it's known to fail. So it's just something to think.
And traditionally speaking, we have seen most of the top 500 machines sitting into a non-blocking configuration in the InfiniBand, which is bloody expensive and so on. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Jordi, you mentioned checkpoint and restart. Somehow it feels like checkpoint and restart has been stuck in the past, right? There are some applications that implement it natively, right? But there is no major support, right? We had a challenge many years ago where we had a workflow that had to run for 40 days, right? It wasn't a single system. It was not even MPI, it was shared memory. But we had to end up implementing kernel-side checkpointing because we could not guarantee that the system would be alive for 40 days, right? And we also need some improvements in the checkpointing and restart, because, yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things to work on this. So kernel level checkpointing and restart, it's very expensive. So it's not something that you can afford, because you dump the whole memory into the file system and you have to recover it. So application level is the way to go, but then you need users to read the 1,000 pages manual to understand how the application works, or to have a developer helping them to implement checkpoint and restart natively. Okay, so I think that we can move to the final wrap up. Are you hungry? Can I use this? Can I use this mic? Okay, so this is it. So this is the end of this journey. So I want to express my personal feeling, and this extends to from all the people organizing this event and making this event a reality. So the team behind us, is the one who has been responsible for making this event a reality. Also the focus folks, thank you so much for all the effort you put in place. All the sponsors, that have made this also a reality. And as we draw a curtain on the HPC annual meeting 25, I want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your participation, for your enthusiasm, and for your invaluable contributions to this event. It has been a privilege of hearing these inspiring speakers, engaging with provocative discussions. And there's a change of ideas. It's what it makes this event a real success. So looking ahead, I'm filled with optimism and excitement of what the future holds. So the annual meeting, it's officially ends here. But we also have a lunch waiting for us. We have the Barcelona Supercomputing Center tour guide by Lenovo's Folk, who is somewhere around here. And so I would like to encourage you to continue these discussions that we had over the last few days over this period of time. Take advantage of this opportunity. Take the most of what is still there. And I hope to see you again next year. Thank you so much.